What's up, man?
I can't believe you, man.
What you been up to, dude?
What's the let's do it tomorrow thing?
I don't know. My phone was charging, was dead. So I'm on my other phone now.
All right, man. What's up, Kenny? How you doing out there in the desert?
It's hot, dude. Really hot.
Yeah.
It was 102 today. That's
Wow.
crazy. Yeah. Crazy status.
I think it was like 84 out here.
That's out here. Nothing's left. The meat shortage out here sucks. Can't get nothing. Yeah. There's no pork in the store whatsoever. Brisket is being sold out like crazy. Chicken's going like crazy. Just sucks.
Yeah, I haven't even looked.
Yeah,
I found me some turkey. Tried to do a little turkey sale, but you know. All right, so format of the interview is I ask you about your beginnings in barbecue, like what got you started, what cookers you initially started with, stuff like that. Then we go to kind of present day, what you're working with now, and then we go to kind of what you want to do in the future, where you want to take this barbecue thing, if anywhere. And then I just ask you a couple other questions that are just kind of, number one, I'll ask you if you could, any cooker you want, which one would you buy? And then I'll ask you, like, what's your favorite thing to cook and kind of your method in doing that. So take us back to the beginning, Pete.
Beginning was in 2009. My dad actually got an egg and started looking at that and was like, all right. Then 2009, my birthday came and told my parents, hey, I want a smoker. And I got a little cabinet master built. Started working on that, and then just watching a bunch of YouTube videos and learning on how to do stuff. And trust me, it was a lot of meat that I threw away. This is disgusting. Never do this again. Then I went to drums, and 2013 came along, and there was a competition in our own backyard, and we're like, hey, let's go do it. Not knowing anything about a competition, just jumped right into it and did do pretty good. Competed against some top teams out here at the High Desert Music Festival and Barbecue Showdown. Then I did that again the next year, and after that I've been hooked. It's just nonstop. And as you know, we did some backyards and pulled up in a big old diesel truck and took Grand Champion that day.
Yeah.
So
still remember that day. We're like, dude, this guy's showing up. This guy's showing up late to the party. What's he doing? Little do we know you came to clean house. That's what you're doing. So
now,
let me introduce you. This is Pete with Pete's Piggy Barn.
Piggy Barn. Yeah, Pete's Piggy Barn.
Piggy Barn is your competition team.
Yep.
And I first met Pete, like he just said, he pulled up, I think you were driving like a tow truck.
It was a big diesel truck.
Flatbed diesel truck. I'll get you next, Kenny, if you want. So he pulls up in this diesel truck about 3 hours behind everybody else. And I remember thinking to myself, like, man, this guy's like lost, and you had the ugliest looking cookers. I think you had those UDS cookers, you know?
I had the Maverick competition barrels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you build those yourself?
No, they actually came from Maverick Housewares.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the gentleman I met before?
Huh?
Is that the gentleman I met when you were out at Big Bear?
No. Maverick housewares is the temperature gauge.
Oh,
The
Maverick. Okay. They
Maverick
made them?
house. Yeah, they made them. They don't make them anymore because they didn't sell, so they stopped making them. And those things I had for a while until I got rid of them, and that's what I was using for a while on the competition circuit was those things. I was using those and the Rectech I still have.
I don't know. You had the Rectech that day?
No, I didn't have the Rectech that day. I was just using those two barrels.
Those two barrels.
Yeah, those two barrels.
Yeah. Man, it was hot out there that day. I remember that.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yep. Show up late and take grand champion. That's how we do things.
Yeah. So what are you cooking on now? What are you working with right now?
I'm working with I have 3 barrels I do, and I used my Rectech Mini.
Okay.
Circuit. Each barrel has its own meat, so I have the ribs that go on my Mini. Then I have a barrel dedicated for drums, or for chicken, and then I have a barrel dedicated for pork, and I have a barrel dedicated for brisket. And everything I do is hot and fast, so I won't start cooking until about 6 o'clock in the morning.
I mean, just from what I've seen out there, you might want to flip the chicken, put the chicken on the Mini, dude, and do those ribs in the drum.
Well, I do my chicken hot and fast, so I'm not scraping skin. Yeah. I'm running my chicken at 300 degrees, so I'm baking pretty much my chicken on the drum at 300.
Right.
So I'm doing it hot and fast. I don't start anything until I put my meats on until I start my barrels at 5 in the morning, and I will not start cooking until 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So everything I do is hot and fast.
So have you been in any comps this year?
Yeah, I did a virtual one through California Barbecue Association online.
Okay.
It was different because they don't do the taste part. So you had to take before, middle of the cook, and then you had to take an after picture, and then you had to send in a video showing the tenderness of it. I think that there was 28 teams, and we took like 15th out of 28 teams on the virtual comp. It was different, dude. Like I set up in my front yard like it was an actual competition, and set my time frame. Okay, this is going to be done this time. This is going to be that time, and just cooked like I was at a competition. The full on wrap, everything. Chicken the same way.
You actually did it like a competition. Wow.
Yeah, because I want, like, if I did in my backyard, I was like, okay, I'm just cooking. You know, like I set up like a full competition in my front yard with the canopy, table, Cambro, everything. Like I was in an actual competition. So it was fun. You know.
Did you? Could you tell if a lot of people took it like that serious, like were they set up like a competition for that virtual one?
I don't know, because we really couldn't post anything until it was the turn-in time was on Mother's Day. So we had to turn everything in, all our videos and our pictures in at 12 o'clock by 12 o'clock in the morning on Mother's Day, and we could not post anything until after the 16th. So it was really, because it was all blind judging. There was no talking in the video. It was just all blind judging. So it's just sitting there like, okay, how did I do? What did these other teams do?
Wow.
Stuff like that. But it was fun. I had fun doing it.
That's different. That's way different.
Brisket too, that they're going to be doing. They said they're going to be doing one. So it's a brisket and pork one. It's only $50 to enter. And then they gave away Grand Champion one Green Mountain Grill, the Davy Crockett, and all 13 rubs lines from Big Papa Smokers. And then it was like $330 if for first place in each category, and it was just straight ribs and chicken. And it was only $50 to enter, so I was like, hey, let's do it, you know?
So how'd you guys do, if you don't mind sharing?
I got 18th. I got 14th overall out of 28 teams.
Okay, that's not
Yeah,
bad.
it was. They just did it off tenderness and appearance. So that was what your grading was.
So how did you do tenderness? How you do that?
They looked at. We had to send in a video of us squeezing it. The bite had to be a bite through. They wanted to see juices coming out of the brisket, juices coming out of the meat of chicken, and then they wanted to see a clean bite.
Okay.
So, and yeah, that's how they
Wow.
did it. No taste, which was the cool part because then you don't get those asshole judges. Oh, this is disgusting, stuff like that. So,
Right.
that was
So
the fun part. I did everything afterwards.
where do you want to take Pete's Piggy Barn? What would you like to do with this end game style? Like,
My goal in life right now is to get to the Jack and the Kansas City Royal.
okay,
That's where I'm headed.
see, you're a straight competition guy.
Yeah, straight competition.
Okay.
And then possibly down the road, open up a mobile kitchen so I can go anywhere that I want to go.
Okay.
Have that competition cart
But just
be
to
used
feed
in,
right,
Yeah.
to feed your competition with the monies from that.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
So,
That's cool.
but that's my road.
All right. So let's say somebody drops a blank check in your lap right now and says, "Hey, you go out, buy any 3 cookers you want." What would you do?
I would go out and I want to get a gateway. I've been looking at the gateways for the longest time, and possibly a big. I want a big cabinet pellet smoker. I've been looking at the Stubbs ones that he's coming out with, the gravity fed pellet smokers, the new ones that he's building with the Savannah Stokers on it. Been looking at those for a while.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen them. They're pretty intense. They're huge.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen those ones he's been cooking. I didn't know they were an actual gravity-fed pellet smoker.
It's a gravity fed pellet smoker, yeah. And then
Wow.
I would probably get that Shirley's guys smokers.
Shirley Fabrication, the offsets.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah. Those things are really nice.
Like a cabinet style though. The 2 doors that open up.
Right.
One of those.
What's he call them? A flatback cooker or something like that?
Something like that, yeah, along those lines.
Man, those cookers are so nice. I almost bought one last week. I had to tell you the truth, man. I was like, wow. I got a chance to see them up close. The guy that delivers them from Legacy Transportation, the guy's name is Kevin. He was driving through the state with 2 of them going up to Northern California from San Diego. And I asked him I said, if there's any way I can meet you off the freeway somewhere, I'd like to see one of these Shirleys up front. So he was cool. He said, yeah, man. He stopped. I got to see the Shirleys, man. The work on those things are just phenomenal.
Yeah, the welds too. The welds that they do, it's like you don't even know that they welded them whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's just smoothly clean. And I know Luton Booty, Smitty uses one for his catering business, and he has it in his backyard. Yeah, and the thing, he goes, it burns clean, evenly throughout the whole entire thing. He goes, you don't even have to worry about adding wood or charcoal to it once you get it going because it just stays an even temp throughout their whole entire cook. So,
yeah. Those things are nice, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I love the owner, Paul Shirley. I watch his videos on YouTube, and he's got so much enthusiasm for his company and for his cookers, and I think he's fully in right of that because those things they're bad to the bone.
Yeah. And then the guy that you met in Big Bear is in the process right now of building me a pellet cooker. Everything that he's doing, he's not. Everything that he's going to do is all done on his own work. So he's adding. He's going to be building the tubes. He's going to be putting augers in there. The augers, the fire pots, the igniter rods, and he's connecting everything to one big hopper. And it's going to be a 60-pound hopper on the back of he's building, and it's going to be ran off a Savannah Stoker. It's 56,703 cubic inches.
Wow.
One door. Yeah, thing's huge. Fully insulated smoker. He's going to be building that. He's in the process right now building that for us.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, you got to do a lot of research behind that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I learned the hard way. I had a cabinet made and threw a hopper on the side and just thought, hey, man, heat rises, right? And,
yeah.
I rocked that for about a year.
He's following, he's getting advice from this guy that's on, if you go on Savannah Stoker's Facebook page.
Okay.
The smoker that's up on top of their cover photo, he became friends with that guy, and that guy's giving him a lot of advice on how to wire, how to build it yourself type stuff from the ground up. So he's been taking a lot of notes from that guy because it's new to him, because all he does is, buys the drums, throws the pipes on them, and say, hey, let's call it quits at that. Throw heat diffuser plates and makes his own heat diffuser plates and makes his own handles and stuff like that, brackets. But, that's all he knows how to do. But so now he's taking a lot of advice from this guy that's actually doing it and putting it into his own twist. And so far it's coming out really nice so far. All the frames up. He's just getting he just put the smokestacks up. There's 2 smokestacks that are on there right now, and it's 4.5-inch pipes going straight up on the side. So there's 2 of them, and he's building his own hopper, everything like that from the ground up. So
nice.
Yep.
So what do you enjoy to cook? What do you enjoy cooking the most for yourself?
To be honest with you, what I like the most is wild game. I like smoking wild game.
Wild game? Okay.
Wild game. There's a market up here that sells wild game in our area.
Okay.
And I like going out because you could cook the basic barbecue, right? But can you turn around and make a wild game taste really good?
Right.
So like going out.
You want to share with us a little bit about what wild game, how you like to prepare it?
I like a lot of venison backstrap. I've done wild boar shoulder. That was really interesting. Really good taste. Did a brine on it for a 24-hour brine on it to get rid of the gamey taste. And just did hot and fast on them, and it came out good. But the venison backstrap, soaking in Merlot overnight.
Okay.
Using them with the Luton Booty everything rub. That's all I use, is doing that. So.
All right.
It's fun. It's different. It's not like your person would go out and buy wild game. Oh, let's smoke it. It's a challenge.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Better than your normal meats to do.
Oh yeah.
To get rid of any taste.
Yeah. So I have a story. A friend of mine, this guy named Ralph, calls me up and says, "Hey Dan, I got a pig. Can you smoke it for me?" He works over here. You know where Prado Dam is at?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he works in like the marshes area. I don't know. He does different pumps and things like that, and they're always out there, and they got all those wild pigs out there, and sometimes they got to put them down, and he calls me up and says, hey, we got one. It's all cleaned up. Will you cook it for me? And I said, yeah, sure. He goes, it's quartered. I said, all right, yeah. And so I brought this thing home. At the time, I think I was rocking the JJs at the time, and pellet smoker, and I didn't know what to do with these things really. I just brought them home and cooked them like I would cook any pig. I coat them down with some pork rub and smoked them till they were tender. The ribs were the weirdest looking thing I ever seen. They were just really skinny. The bones were really white, like really white. Almost looked like they were bleached.
Yeah, that's tricky.
And took them, dropped them off to him. He said they were good, so I must have did something right. But man, that was the first time for me.
The shoulder on the wild boars are really like it's almost like a brisket. It's really muscular, really hard to break down because they're constantly on the move. They're not farm raised; they're constantly on the move. So, and you got to figure what these pigs are eating, out in the wild. They're fun to do.
Yeah,
venison.
That was a trip.
It's small, but quail's good to do too. That's really good. I've had that and frog legs, rattlesnake, alligator. I've smoked the whole gator.
You smoked a whole gator?
And the mini.
Okay.
It was a little. It wasn't big. I think it was like almost like a 40-pound gator that I threw into the mini and smoked it in the mini. That I got.
So what's your next? Any word on competitions when they're going to open up again?
So far as of right now, I don't know anything, but I'm heading out to the Riff Fest in fall. So they say they're going to reopen it in the fall in Vegas. So I'll be heading out there to do the Riff Fest.
Oh, they're going to do it again in Vegas?
Yeah, they were supposed to do it. They were supposed to have it in June.
Okay.
And it got postponed. So they don't know. They said that it's going to be in the fall sometime. They don't know when yet. But they're doing fall. So I was like, all right, that looks like it's the only competition. It's going to pretty much be open because on the California sites, everything's postponed till next year. So.
Oh, did they? California. Because I'm being a state comp June 20th.
Yeah, it's different.
Simi Valley.
KCBS pretty much shut everything down. They said, no, it's no go. Everything's postponed to next year. Any KCBS or meat comp. So they're kind of losing you. Yeah, the Riff Fest is not a KCBS comp, so they could run whatever they want. KCBS pretty much sent out emails and said it's a no-go for this year. So if you want to do comps, everything has to be virtual. So, see what happens.
You kind of froze up on us.
Yeah, so I was saying that KCBS.
All right. He kind of froze up. Let me see if I can't get him back really quick. Hey, Kenny, do you
are you
kind of lost you there?
Okay. Yeah, KCBS, I got an email from KCBS stating that it's pretty much a no-go for this season. If they want to do comps, people want to do comps, they have to go virtual. And all the comps are judged by KCBS judges. So that's pretty much the new 2020 is now virtual comps until they get further notice. So and I know the Riff Fest isn't a KCBS comp, so they have whatever they want to do. So
Right,
that's
right.
I'm going to be out there, and if that's the only comp that I do, then so be it. I'll go out and do that one, and go from there. Because I was planning on doing Big Bear. I signed up for Big Bear, and again, to go out and compete Big Bear, and I got a refund back in my PayPal from it and saying that it was canceled. So it's like, all right, cool. Had all the supplies that I order, for comps, and was going to go out and do it, and got canceled.
Right.
So we'll see.
Well, all right, man. Well, best of luck to you. Why don't you tell people how to find you on Instagram? And
you could find me on Instagram at Pete's Piggy Barn, and then I'm on Facebook also at Pete's Piggy Barn. If you guys want to go out and follow me, I'm out there constantly posting different stuff. Weird. So
yeah. All right, bro.
All right, man.
Thanks a lot.
All right, no problem.
Have a good one.
All right, you too. All right.
Bye. All right. Sorry about that. We're getting broken up, and Kenny, did you want to get interviewed, bro? Kind of talk about how you started building pits. You with me, Kenny? Who else? Bartlow's Barbecue. Bartlow. What's up, Bartlow? Just doing some interviews. All right. All right, what I'm going to do, Kenny, is I'm going to end this one where I can have a clean video for yours, okay? So when you see me go on live again, hop back on, I'll add you. This is Dino Dan. All you got to do is watch the next, when I go live again, okay? That was episode 8 of The Cud. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.